What's up guys, going to show you back in the video. Today is another protagonist wheel video. Alright, so let's begin. So who is our protagonist, right? Who is the protagonist of the wheel? Now, it can't be Laurie because we already had Laurie in my first ever video. I just said Laurie as well. Carol. Laurie, I'm sorry, but we can't have you as protagonist. Because check out my first video where I actually made Laurie the protagonist. Dale. Okay. So Dale is our protagonist of The Wheel. Dale has to have a love interest, and he's got to have a child to look after. Okay? So we're going to get The Wheel. We're going to get another character. So there's 4 kids at season 1. We got Carl, we got not Carl. So we got Carl, we got Eliza, Sophia, and we have Lewis. So this character will have immunity for the entire series. So who is it that becomes... Who does Dale protect throughout the series? Okay, Sophia's pretty interesting. So Dale protects Sophia in this version. So the girls Dale can go out with is Laurie, Andrea, Amy, Carol, and Jackie. Oh, Miranda. So there are 6 female characters. Let's see, who does Dale go out with at this point? So Laurie, Carol, Miranda. Laurie, Carol, Miranda. Andrea, Amy, and Jackie. So, who is it that's Dale's love interest in season 1? Ooh. So it's basically the comics. It's the comics. So Dale's love interest is Andrea, and he has to look after Sophia, right? So Dale, that's his love interest. Okay. So it gets chained to the rooftop. So this character gets chained to the rooftop. Now, Andrea is immune till season 3. Right. So Andrew's immune to season 3. And I'm trying to think. Sophia is immune for the entire series. Okay. So, who gets chained to the rooftop? Who becomes our Merle? Oh no. No. Amy? What? So maybe in this mission, Andrea wasn't on the supply run, right? But Amy said some things about Dale dating her sister. You know, you shouldn't be out with my sister. And we chain her to the rooftop. Now, Amy will return in Woodbury, right? So Amy does come back in Woodbury. So that's mental. We've already lost Amy. So, does Guimero join the group? Heads, yes. Tails, no. Okay, so Tails, no. So Guimero dies. He dies. It's confirmed in season 2. Start season 2, he was killed, so we'll put him in season 2. So Guimero, he died in the deleted scene. So now we have that. We got to talk about who gets kidnapped by the Votters gang. Okay, who gets kidnapped by the Votters gang? You know, Dale has to save someone with Sophia and Andrea. So Miranda, again, gets kidnapped. Alright, so who gets the Ed death, right? Who gets the Ed death? Oh no. Oh yeah, so Ed just gets the same death. Okay. So Ed, he gets the canon death. So Ed, he dies like normal. So in this version, uh, Ed dies. But who gets the Amy death? Because Amy's not here, so it's gonna be somebody else. Oh no, no. That sucks. Eliza comes out of a tent and gets killed. That's really sad, actually. So, who gets the gym death? Who gets left by a tree? Oh no, no. This works really well, actually. So, Carol gets bitten, and in this timeline, what happens is Sophia tries to put down her mother, but she can't, and she says, leave me to be a walker. And Dale can't bring himself to do it, so they have to leave her behind. All right, so who goes off to find family? All right, so for example, if it's Rick, then he will bring Carl and Laurie. If it's Shane, Shane will go by himself. We'll say that Rick never gets shot in this version, and we'll say that Glenn still saves. We'll say that Glenn saves Dale from Atlanta. Okay. If it's T-Dog, then T-Dog is off by himself, and Morales, he takes his family. So, who is it that goes to family? So who goes off to find family? Oh no, no. Laurie does. So Laurie takes Rick and she takes Carl, who will all appear in season 8. So we'll put these three over here for now. So we already have lost the original Grimes family. So we flip a coin. At this point, we'll flip a coin because Shane and Rick were like brothers. So does Shane leave with Rick? Heads yes, tails no. Best of 3. One more. So Shane decides to stay behind to help the group in this timeline, and he says he'll meet up with Rick. But of course, when they get to meet up point, Shane thinks they're dead. So unfortunately, Shane does not join the group. He stays with the group, right? So now we got to Dr. Jenna death. So who joins Dr. Jenna? So who gets the Jackie death? And at this point, remember, Andrea has found out her sister got chained to the rooftop, so that's why she went back to Lana. No. No. Oh. So in this timeline, Glenn, losing all hope, stays behind, and Dale's pretty gutted because Dale is trying to convince Glenn to leave, but unlike Andrea, he doesn't stay behind, and so Glenn dies. Season 2, that's so this character in season 2 will go missing on the highway. So who is it? Alright, that doesn't that was an accident spin. Okay, so our cast at this point is T-Dog and Merle, the Morales family, Jackie, Daryl and Merle, Shane, Andrea, Dale, and Sophia. Happy little family. So who goes missing on the highway? And then we're going to talk about the shooter. Oh no! No! Morales goes missing. So he ends up getting the iconic, not iconic. Morales gets the Sophia death, who he goes missing and he ends up coming back later on. Okay? So they go to try and get Gamero, but Gamero's already dead. That is so sad. So now we have season 2. So, who gets shot? And then we'll talk about who is the shooter, okay? So we have to make another wheel for the shooter. Okay? So this character will get the Otis death. So we got Otis, Maggie, Beth, Jimmy, Patricia, and Herschel. Okay. I gotta spell Herschel. 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 Right. So it's 6 people. So, who's the shooter? Who is going to become our shooter? Oh, no. No. So Herschel is the shooter. Right, so who is it that gets shot? So Herschel gets the Otis death. Now the question is, who is going to become the shooter? Who gets shot? Now, if this is Sophia, right, this would make a lot of sense. Oh no! Dale gets shot. It can't be Dale because Dale's the protagonist, so Dale can't die. Dale can't die. So Dale's the protagonist. It can't be Dale. So I'm saying that on Sophia would work so well. So Jackie ends up getting shot in this version. Yeah, that makes sense though, because Dale's like the mediator and he's protecting Sophia. So Jackie goes out trying to search for Morales, but she gets shot, right, by Herschel. And then we gotta add Beth. Gotta add Beth, Maggie, Jimmy, Patricia, and we add Otis. Now the question is, who is it that's going to kill Herschel? Okay, who's going to become our Shane and make sense of it to be Shane? It can't be Jackie. Jackie's been shot. Reroll. Jackie's been shot. Can't be Jackie. Ooh, Miranda. Okay, that's interesting. So Miranda goes on a supply run with Herschel and she says, I'm sorry. And he gets... Yeah, this makes a lot of sense because Morales went missing and she lost Eliza in the Atlanta attack. And so she says to Dale, let me handle this. Maybe she's getting a crush on Dale and a bit of rivalry between her and Andrea. So Miranda ends up, of course, doing it. So, right, let's see the next death. Okay, so Herschel's found the barn. Dale shoots. Who opens the barn? Okay, after being found out, Miranda. So Miranda opens the barn, and she's like, "Enough, Dale. The man's gone." And she's freaked out. Her husband's gone. You're the reason my husband Morales has gone missing. Yeah, this really works. So she's going mental on Dale. Andrea, she's like in the comics. She's trying to defend her Dale, but say, Andrea, why are you with this man? He chained Amy to the rooftop, and this kind of puts a rift between the two. And she's not very happy about it, but she said at least Dale has to referee the situation. So there was nothing he could do. And Otis, of course, when they find out it's actually Herschel and Morales, they have to unfortunately put him down, okay? And, the fight happens. But Otis says, okay, I didn't know it was your friend, but I put him in the barn. Because Otis just kind of did Herschel's work. Even though he never agreed with Herschel's... it was said that even though he never agreed with Herschel's way of walkers putting them in the barn because he thought they were sick, he still did it. So he likely knew that they were in there, even though he didn't do the people, he would know. So, now we have Otis, and we have the Herschel death. We gotta talk about the Shane death, alright? So, Miranda Morales, Dale has to kill Miranda. Fortunately, Miranda Morales. So, Randall. Oh, sorry, before we have the Dale death, don't we? So, the iconic Dale death. The video, this is what we've waited for, okay? Who gets the Dale death? And it can't be Dale, because Dale's just been immune. For all 11 seasons. No. You know what? That actually works though. For Miranda's evil arc, that works really well. So in this timeline, Louis tells Dale we got to spare him. And I think Dale agrees, because Dale's like, yeah, we've got to spare this man. But he starts to use humanity, so he wants to spare him. Shane, even though Shane's not like as bad, he still thinks, it wouldn't be a bad idea to take him out. So I think Shane's on Miranda's side. Jim and T-Dog are, and Daryl and Bill. Right? And because Daryl, I think, is more loyal to Mil since he's here, and Andrea is with. She wanted to kill him in the original, so I see no reason why that would change. Sophia would kind of agree. Jackie, I think Jackie would want to spare him. I think it'd be more of a rift now with different people, but I still think it'd be the same. I think majority of people would kill Randall, and Louis runs off. But as Dale tries to run after him, Louis gets attacked by Lewis. I'm sorry, not Louis. I keep calling him Louis. Lewis runs off and gets eaten by a walker. And Miranda's like, no. And who puts him down and says, sorry, brother. So this is pretty dark, right? This is a dark timeline. Ooh, so Dale has to put him down. Okay, so Dale, because Rick can't do it in the original. Because he goes like, he's about to kill Dale, then he can't do it. So Daryl has to do it. But in this timeline, Dale actually is able to put down Luis Morales, and he says, sorry, brother. And he ends up killing Luis Morales. And this makes Miranda and Dale's rift even more, because Miranda has lost both of her husband and son in the season. Wow, this is already a dark season, right? So now we have the Shane death. So we lose Miranda, and the question is, Dale stabs Miranda, but who shoots Miranda? It's not Miranda. Now, if it's a different character that's not Dale, it'll make this work, okay? Ah, yes, Andrea. So Andrea comes in the field and helps Dale. That's cool. All right. So Dale, he talks to. So Miranda still kills Randall, and Dale talks to Miranda's like, I'm a better father, I'm a better mother than you, Dale. I'm a better parent for Sophia than you, Dale. Because maybe in this version, Miranda wants to take over the group, and she wants Sophia for herself, and maybe she wants Andrea as well. So Miranda, she's like, I'm a better person than you, Dale. I can defend the group. I can make the tough calls that you can't, Yeah, I killed Randall. And then Dale's like, we can all change. And then what happens is Dale is forced to stab her, which is his first real turn. He doesn't want to, because it's against his faith in humanity. But he knows to protect Sophia, he must kill Miranda. And of course, Dale does this in self-defense. So I think it's more of a self-defense situation rather than him just outright killing her. And so Andrea, after coming back, Dale's like, please put down the gun. And Andrea shoots Miranda in the head. So that's that. So now we have the Jimmy death, okay? So we got the Jimmy death. Who gets the Jimmy death? And this is going to be interesting. Oh, no. No. It's Daryl. Okay, that actually works. So in this timeline, Daryl tries to drive the RV, and Merle's like, no! And then who gets devoured by walkers? Who gets the Patricia death? They just get devoured by normal, right? So it can be... Wait, did I add Merle? No, I didn't have Merle. It's Shane. That's so sad. So Shane gets devoured by walkers as well. So already we've lost Shane and Daryl. That's so sad, right? So we've lost the big boys. We lost the Rick's our right hands, and Dale has his dictator speech on how he killed Miranda, and Otis and Patricia are just looking at him. Maggie, I don't know who Maggie would date in this version though. I don't know who Maggie would date. Maybe she'd go out with T-Dog. I felt like she'd go with T-Dog. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. It's kind of hard though. Okay. And Andrea, Dale's like, yeah, I had to do it. This ain't a democracy anymore. There's the door. And Dale ends up, of course, going straight into the prison. So we got the prison arc, okay? So the prison arc, who gets separated from Michonne? So who gets separated from, who joins Michonne? Now it can't be Andrea because she's with Dale. I guess it could work. Oh no. So Andrea. Okay, that works actually. Okay. That kind of works. So in this timeline, Andrea gets separated from Dale when they're trying to escape the barn. And Dale thinks Andrea's dead. So Andrea's missing. And then Dale has this democracy speech. And it's like, I just lost my girlfriend on that barn, for Christ's sake. And that's Dale. So Dale ends up losing not only one of the sisters, he loses two of the sisters, which is crazy. So crazy. And Michonne, of course, joins the cast. All right. So now we go into we all know the wheel. We got Michonne, Oscar, Big Tiny, and Axel. Michonne, Oscar, Tiny. Season 3, okay? So first of all, gets the Big Tiny death. So it can be any of these characters. Obviously, it cannot be Andrea, but who is our... No! Dale is immune! Okay, so Big Tiny, he just gets kind of death. Kind of sad, not gonna lie. Kind of sad. So we lose Big Tiny, just like the original. Alright, so here's my notes page. And Thomas is killed by Dale. Okay. Thomas. And we have the T-Dog death, okay? So, Thomas, Dale says, I get it. And Dale literally just slices him in the head, because at this point I think Dale's a bit more savage, because he thinks that Andrea's dead, right? Judith, does she exist? Yeah, she does actually. Do we have a Judith? Did Judith exist? Oh, no, Judith does exist. I'm sorry, she's with the Grimes family. What am I saying? She's with the Grimes family. Because remember, Rick left with his family, so Judith does exist, and we lost our own shit on the farm. So Dale kills Thomas, but then who gets T-Dog death? And then who kills Andrew? And then who gets Lori death? Okay, so who gets the T-Dog death? So remember, we do not have a child. So also the main child's immune, which is Sophia. So Jackie sacrifices herself in this version. So just so you guys know, Sophia has complete immunity till season for the whole series, because Dale is raising her as his own child, and I just don't like the main character's kid being killed off. I always had an issue with Carl's death, and my opinion's not changed. So, I mean, it's nothing I could do, obviously, but I just don't like the death of the main character's kid. So Dale is raising Sophia by himself, but Andrea, she's not pregnant, so she's just by herself. Alright, so Jackie sacrifices herself, and then we get Andrea death, right? So who does she sacrifice herself for? I'm sorry, we were supposed to remove Jackie from the wheel, right? We were supposed to remove Jackie. Now, I think this would be funny if it was someone like, I don't know, maybe it's Merle. Hopefully, maybe it's Merle that she sacrificed herself for. This character also can die. No, Michonne. It can't be Michonne. She's with Andrea, right? So she's with Andrea like in the original. So at this point, Dell thinks Andrea's dead. So T-Dog, no. Actually, that works really well. So in this timeline, Jackie gets bit, and she's like, T-Dog, go, go, go. And T-Dog runs out, and he has to leave her. So T-Dog also has immunity. So who kills Andrew? So this character locks Andrew and leaves him to die. Ooh, Jimmy. So Jimmy ends up... Okay, so who ends up getting the Lori death? Who gets the Lori's death? Okay. Can't be Andrea. Andrea's immune. Remember, she's immune at this point because she hasn't returned to prison. She can die in the same season, though. I will allow that. Love of interest. Otis. Okay, so Otis ends up dying, so he just gets devoured by walkers rather than him just being pregnant. So I'm going to say he saves Patricia. He sacrifices himself to save Patricia, and Patricia gets saved, but we lose Otis, okay? So, the next scene is Julio. So Julio is this guy, and Julio was killed by Merle. So we're gonna flip a coin on does Julio join the group? Now heads, yes. Tails, Julio will die by Merle's hand. Okay. So Julio is a part of the group at this point. So Amy and Julio leave the group. Okay, so they leave the group. And who gets kidnapped? So, who gets kidnapped? Alright. Who are the two that they kidnapped? And then we got to add Julio and Amy to the wheel since Julio was not killed. No. So T-Dog is one of these people. I think it would kind of be funny if it was maybe Dale, because Dale changed the proof stopper, right? They just want it to be T-Dog. It needs to be somebody else. 100%. So we have Oscar. Okay, so this is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. T-Dog is kidnapped with. Ooh. The third time they want it to be T-Dog, don't they? Don't worry, T-Dog. We get his protagonist video. Okay, so Jimmy. So in this timeline, Jimmy and T-Dog are both kidnapped. So we gotta go to prison and save them, right? So the question is, who gets the Oscar death? So who gets shot in the head when they're trying to escape, okay? Now, I won't add Amy or Julio to the wheel because I feel like I can be cheating. So we'll add them after this death. No, no. I hate that for Maggie, though. I really do. So we add Julio. We'll just put Julio, and we'll add. Anyway, so we spin twice. 1, 2. Okay. So we add Amy and we add Julio. Now, unfortunately, Oscar gets killed at the prison. We lose Oscar. Not Oscar. Who do we lose? Maggie. We lost Maggie. So Maggie gets shot in the head. Oh, that really sucks for Maggie, though. That really does suck. So I guess we wouldn't have a Herschel. Now, Herschel might become somebody else's kid later on, but for now we don't have a Herschel, so that's kind of sad. So Dale, he gets Sophia out. I forgot. Who gets bitten? Who gets the Herschel treatment? It can't be a prisoner and it can't be one of our new recruits. It can't be Axel. So I'll allow it to be Dale. Okay, it can't be Oscar either. Right? It can't be Oscar. So who gets bitten on the leg? At the beginning of the thing, before they meet prisoners, right? No, can't be Amy. It can't be Amy. Can't be Amy. Alright. So we got Merle, T-Dog, Jimmy? Okay, apparently Jimmy gets one-legged Jimmy, so instead of Beth's father, it's actually her older friend, so one-legged Jimmy, so Jimmy has one leg. That's just so the Herschel know he gets bitten, so they have to cut it off. Alright? Okay. So, Andrea, Michonne, and Boy join the prison, okay? At this point, we're going to talk about who is it that gets the Axel death. So he gets shot in the head, right? Now, we flip a coin on does Dwayne survive, okay? So, the Axel death, okay? So does Tyrese's group join? Does Tyrese and Sasha join at this arc? Heads, yes. Tails still drilling like cannon. Okay, so they do leave, and we have to talk about who gets the Axel death. Okay. So who gets shot in the head? Surprise attacked by the governor. Now. Oh no. Okay, Michonne. Oh no. Michonne. She just joined the group. She was at the prison, so she came back with the baby formula, and her and Andrew rejoined. They reunited with Dale, and Michonne gets shot in the head. It's so sad. It's so sad. That is really dark for Michonne. That is such a way for Michonne to go out. So does Dwayne survive? Heads yes, tails no. Okay, so Dwayne is alive in this version. And who gets the Merle death? Who ends up getting the Merle death? So who ends up sacrificing themselves? Now, it would be cool if it was Julio, because this guy's just, No, why? Beth! You know what? I'm going to keep it. It works. So in this timeline, after Jimmy had gotten bitten on the leg, Andrea gets shot. Maggie was killed by. So Otis got Maggie got killed, her sister, right? And not wanting to protect her only love, her family left, Patricia and Jimmy. Beth goes out on a mission and she ends up getting killed, which is so sad, so sad. So we lose Beth. Okay, so Beth tries to kill the governor, but is unsuccessful. So we have the season finale, which is Andrea. So who gets the Andrea death? All right, who gets the Andrea death? No. So Oscar in this timeline, Oscar. So Andrea and Dale marry back as a couple, okay? And in this timeline, Andrea reforms, so she goes back to us, and Oscar gets kidnapped, and we have to put him down. So tragic. So we still lose Milton in the same way. Now the question is, does Shumpert reform? Heads yes, tails no. Best of three. One more. Give us the heads. No! Shumpert. Best of... Oh. So Shumpert doesn't reform. Best of five. One more. Yes. So we get Shumpert and Hamburg. Does Hamburg join? Heads yes, does not. Yes. So we get Hamburg. Now, does Martinez die like canon? We'll talk about that in a bit. So we have to add... Who have we got to add to the group? Season 4 deaths then, alright? So we add... Tyrese, Sasha, Karen, Zach, Bob, Lizzie, Mika, Lily, Tara, and that's it, okay? So, Shumpert. So we got Shumpert, got Hamburg, we got Tyrese, Sasha, Bob, Karen, Mika, Zach. Yeah, Lizzie and Tara are with the governor. That's right. I didn't add Lizzie to the wheel because Lizzie would just die anyway. So, I'll just add her just because. So I remember she's on the wheel. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we've done this 10 times since we got 10 new characters. 8, 9, 10. And that's that. So stand by for season 4. We got season 3, which is finally finished, and we go straight into season 4. Alright? So season 4, this is the prison. Fallout. Alright, so the Zach death. Who ends up getting the Zach death and dies on a supply mission? So this can be anyone. Okay. Obviously, it can't be Dale, it can't be Sophia. Oh no! Sophia's immune. Luckily, Sophia's immune. Luckily, she's our Carl, so Sophia's immune. Oh no! Julio. So Julio ends up getting killed on this mission. It's kind of sad because Julio was like one of our favorite characters, one of my favorites in this rewrite. So we lost Julio. Okay, I know his name. I think his name's Julio. I think that's how you say it, but I just put that in for sure. So the Patrick death. Okay, so the Patrick death. We'll keep the Ryan's death the same. Their father. Okay, so who gets sick? Now, this character will become important because we'll have to talk about the Karen death. So somebody does get kicked out of Terminus and meets us back in Terminus, okay? Oh, no. No. T-Dog gets sick. Oh, that's so sad. So T-Dog gets the Patrick death and ends up getting sick at the prison. That is awful. That is so sad. My boy T-Dog. Devastated. So Karen... Who ends up? The first person gets burnt. The second person burns the bodies. Okay, so who gets burnt? Oh no, that's dark. Who is it? If this is Andrea, this makes no sense. Oh, so Sasha, damn. So Amy gets burned and Sasha burns the bodies in this version, alright? So Sasha is the one to do it. And Dale's like, I get why you did it. But if me and Sophia and Andrea, the last ones on our family, would you have done the same? So then Sasha comes back in Terminus. So we lose Sasha. Okay? That's pretty shocking. I didn't expect Sasha to burn the bodies. Okay? So she's our Carol. Okay. So we have the David Chambers. We got Shumper, which is a confirmed fate. So we have Martinez. Now the question is, does Martinez? Do we lose Martinez? Heads, yes. So heads, Martinez will die at cannon. Tails, he will leave the governor. So he leaves. Martinez comes back. He joins our group. Okay. So I'm going to say Martinez joins our group. So we add Martinez. So he tells us about the governor, and he betrays him. And the question is, which one of these characters will get the Herschel death? So who gets Herschel death? No, Patricia. So the governor kidnaps Patricia, and Dale's trying to convince the governor we can all change. And then he calls Dale liar, and then he chops off Patricia's head. That's kind of sad. So not only do we lose Patricia, but Lily and Tara. Oh, we gotta add Lily and Tara. Alright, so we remove Patricia, and we add Lily, we add Tara. So we'll roll this one too, and how many people will die in Woodbury? So how many people get killed in Woodbury? I kind of liked that in the last video, so I want to keep it the same. So Herschel. So before the governor is killed, how many people does the governor manage to kill? So I do a 6-sided dice. Obviously, I do 20 for pike deaths because the pike deaths are like the alpha situation. So apparently 5 people. We got 4 extra deaths, and then we got 5 extra deaths, and then we got the governor, and then we got Lily's death. So Lily's death's the final one, okay? So who gets shot? Who does the governor kill? First person. Oh no. It's Hamburg. Oh, that's so sad. No. Alright, you can't get Louis Shumpert as well. Why? Why Tyrese? So already I've lost 2 of the best characters in this. So the governor's not messing around. He really killed Tyrese and he killed Hamburg, okay? So he shot the 2 of them. So Patricia gets the Herschel death. And then we'll talk about who killed the governor. So we got the 3rd person. The 4th person. Because Herschel's death is 1. Lily's 2. Karen. So in this timeline, Karen tries to save Tyrese, but she's not able to. Alright, so this is the last person before we kill the governor, and then it's Lily's death, which is the last person. Alright, actually no, we got 5 deaths. We got 5 deaths to go. No, so Axel. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We got 4. We got 2 more deaths before we get out of this. Which is crazy. So Axel dies. Oh no, not Shumpert. No. I can't get over this. This is like such a dreadful arc. The governor, he's killed my boy Shumpert in Hamburg. Oh no. Okay, so already we have 5 deaths from the governor himself. So Shumpert is our shocking reveal. So, who kills the governor? And then we'll talk about who gets the tower death. Okay? Lily Tower. Who gets Lily's death? So, who kills the governor? And if it's Dale, we'll make this work. We'll talk about who Dale saves. Okay, apparently Mika. So who saves Mika? Right, so Mika, who does Mika have to save? So we'll say in this timeline it's Dale, right? But Mika comes up with the sword and kills the governor. which is kind of unexpected, to be honest. The fact that a little kid would take her out. To be honest, I thought it was going to be Sophia, but I think Mika. We'll say Sophia and Andrew got separated from Dale during the attack. That can work. So who gets the Lily death? Who ends up dying and being devoured off screen? Oh, Tara. So we lose Tara already. So Tara ends up dying. Kind of tragic. So let's make sure we have everyone. We got Bob, Mika, Dale, Martinez, Andrea Sophia, Zach, Merle. Yeah, Merle's still here. That's kind of cool. Merle, Jim, Lizzie, Sasha, Lily, and one-legged Jimmy. So we have that Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene. Okay, so we got to add these three characters, right? So Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene. So we have to get rid of Lizzie, and we got to get rid of Mika. Though she killed the governor, I think it just makes it more unexpected then, because Mika's starting to become a survivalist, and then they realize actually no, Lizzie kills her. So the question is, who kills Lizzie? All right, who kills Lizzie? Now keep in mind that if this character, let's see, who kills Lizzie? Now if it's Dale, we'll have to make this make sense. All right, Rosita? Do I say Rosita? Rosita wasn't with the children. Okay, so in this timeline, what happens is the Lizzie and Mika are found by Abraham's group because there's no Glenn, okay? But they're with let's say that they're on their own, and they tell about their group. And at this point, they're with Jimmy. Let's say they're with Lily and Jimmy, and Lily and Jimmy are with Lizzie and Mika, and Merlin, Jim, and Zach are a group. Andrea and Amy, Andrea and Sophia, Dale and Bob, and we'll say that Martinez is with them. But we'll say in this timeline that Rosita, seeing that Mika is a threat, needs to kill Lizzie, and so Rosita tells her to look at the flowers, and kills her. So I think that's a pretty cool arc for Rosita. Not gonna lie. Sasha, she's coming back in season 5, which is kind of cool. So Sasha's gonna save us in Terminus. Okay, Sasha's gonna save us in Terminus. Oh, actually, before we get to season 5, we need to talk about who gets kidnapped at the hospital. So it can be Rosita, and I'm gonna say it won't be Abraham or Eugene because it makes no sense, but we'll see what the bill says. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Okay, so in this timeline, Abraham is devastated that Rosita had killed Lizzie and Mika because they're just kids, right? And what happens is the hospital people, but let's say they're trying to kidnap Eugene, right? But Abraham's able to punch them, and they use a syringe to knock him out, and he gets kidnapped to the hospital. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because, come on, there's no way that they're going to be able to kidnap Abraham like they did Beth. Like, I know Beth's a very capable survivor, but I mean, in the lineup, Abraham was not afraid to die whatsoever, so do you honestly think that they would be able to capture him without a syringe or something? Like, they're in a hospital. I imagine they would have stuff to make sure Abraham wouldn't be able to fight back, so I think that's what they would use. Okay, so season 5. We're in Terminus. Okay, so Terminus. We're in Terminus. So, season 5. We'll talk about how many people die in Terminus, because I'm going to roll for that. And the Sam death. So, the Sam death. How many people get killed in Terminus with the Sam? 6 people. So, who gets the Sam death? And we get 6 people dead. Oh, that's crazy. So, we lose 6 people when we're trying to escape Terminus. So Sam is one of them. So get the Sam death. Oh, No. No. So Bob is our first casualty. He gets slit in the neck. Oh, I forgot. Who kills Joe the Claimer? Who kills Joe the Claimer? Where is he? Where is he? Where's Joe? Where's Joe? Where's Joe? Where's the Claimer? I forgot who kills the Claimer. Who kills the Claimer? How did I forget this? This is like one of the most iconic scenes. We'll just say it's Dale, because I think it'd be cool. Maybe Dale's completely lost his humanity, and he realizes that they have to be kind of a bit ruthless at this point. So Dale's kind of pretty much a savage. So I'm going to say that's what happens, okay? So who's our second spin? Sasha saves us now, but we can have them die during the escape. Can't be Abraham. Can't be Abraham. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It can't be Abraham. Bob has just died. Andrea. So we have Sophia. Got Eugene. Who else have we got? I'm just checking all the characters before I carry on saying. Yeah, Abraham's missing. He's at the hospital. So we put Dawn up here as well. So Abraham's missing, and Sasha and Gareth, right? So they're there, and Noah's there. So Noah and Abraham's bonded. Gabriel, he hasn't quite joined yet, but he'll join later on. So they're going to the missing category. We got Lily and Merle. So we got Lily and Merle. Who else? Lily, Merle, and Rosita, Abraham. So we don't have Abraham. We got Rosita. One-legged Jimmy. One-legged Jimmy. I just think that's kind of cool. Jimmy, like this one character. I think is really cool. Martinez, Jim, Dales, and Zach. Martinez, Jim, Dales, Zach. Andrea, where was Andrea on the wheel? She was above Rosita. Okay, so we do have everyone on the wheel. So who's the next person? Who's our second victim before we escape Terminus? Okay, so the tainted meat will still be in the season, but Terminus are more of a threat here. Abraham's immune, so Abraham has immunity. I'm gonna put Abraham, Sophia, and Dale's immune there. So immunity, and Dale also has immunity. Sophia has immunity. Sophia's become like pretty cool with this. Like she's pretty dark, you know. Like she lost both of her parents in the Avanta attack. So, oh no, please no. Rosita, the character who took out Lizzie and Mika, is our second victim. So we've already lost Rosita. We've got 4 more deaths. All right, 4 more deaths. So who is the third death? Who gets killed? Next person to die in Terminus. Oh no. No. So Jim, how many ones do we have in season 1? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. That was right up to 4. Oh yeah, we got Laurie, Carl, and Rick, but they've already left. So we only have 1 to 3 now. Alright. I'm actually kind of rooting for Andrew and Mill to survive at least to season 7, okay? Eugene! So already Eugene gets killed by the Terminus. So we got 4 people. We've got 2 more deaths before we need to escape, okay? So who are the last people? And remember, Abraham's immune. Luckily Dale has immunity. Okay? So Dale doesn't get killed, don't worry guys. Dale's going to survive all the way to season 7. I'm not season 11. Can't be Sophia either. We're not going to have many people by the time we escape to Alexandria. Our group's going to be very thin. No. Oh, that is such a gutting death for Dale. So Dale's already lost Andrea. That's the 5th death. So 1 more person gets killed before when we escape, and who is it? So it can be Sasha. Oh. He's immune. Reroll. Reroll. So it can be Merle, Martinez, Zach, or Sasha and Lily. And it's just Zach. Okay. I guess Zach didn't really do anything this entire run. So we lose Zach. So Lil Martinez, Jimmy, and Dale. So we have Sasha back. Okay, so Sasha's returned, and she's off to a boyfriend, Bob. Okay, so that's kind of sad for Sasha. That is so sad for Sasha. Okay, so the who kills Gareth? Okay, so who kills Gareth? That is Dale. And then the Bob death. Okay, so somebody gets the tainted meat and we kill Gareth. So we kill Gareth. So who gets the Bob death? Who ends up dying on this mission? Now at this point we haven't met Gabriel. Oh no. So Lily actually kind of suits really well. So Lily says, I'm tainted meat. And Lily ends up getting killed. So who puts Lily down? Okay, who puts Lily down? Apparently it's Dale. So Dale kills Lily to save her from reanimating. Dale's become a pretty sick character in this rewrite, alright? So we add Dawn's little group. So we have the hospital arc. So we got Dawn. Okay, we got the Beth death. So who gets the Beth death? So we got to add Noah as well. At this point, we can add Noah to the wheel. So we got Noah. Okay. So Noah has been added. So who gets the Beth death? And Abraham's lost his immunity. I should have took that off. Oh no! No! Damn it! Damn it! Merle! Merle does get killed here. How does this work? Okay, so in this timeline, Merle's seeing that Sophia died, Amy got burned alive, T-Dog was sick, and, we lost so many people, like, so many different people have died. And Merle, not wanting another kid to be killed in this world, he says, Dawn, I finally get it. And it's like, screw you, Dawn. So Merle, he tries to shoot Dawn, but Dawn accidentally kills Merle. And then, who kills Dawn? So this wasn't Dale, this wasn't the protagonist in the original. So it can be anyone, right? It can be anyone. I kind of think it suits better for it to be Dale. I should have took out Abraham's meaning. Okay, so Dale. Oh yes, yes. So Sophia kills. Sophia kills this character. Okay. So Dale kills. Not Dale. Sophia shoots Dawn after killing Merle. Because in this time, Merle and Sophia were close, right? And they were like the Beth and Daryl. And Merle says to Beth, not to Beth, Sophia. He says to her, in a flashback, and he goes, even when I'm gone, kid, you're gonna beat me in this world. You're gonna survive longer than me. And it's just a devastating scene as Dale and Sophia are the only Atlanta two. And Merle he says before he kills Dawn, he says, hey old man River, or hey Dale, make that the Atlanta two, and then he stabs Dawn. Because we don't know at this point that Carl, Lori, and Rick are alive, okay? So we'll say that maybe Shane is still the father, but in this, I don't know. We'll just say actually no, we can't because Rick's never shot. So we just say that. So unfortunately, that's kind of it for that season. Okay. So we have the Tyrese death. So before we get to Alexandria, somebody is killed and bitten, and later get put down. So we only have 6 people when we get to Alexandria. Okay. So who is it? Who gets the Tyrese death? No, please. Oh, it's Jimmy. It's Jimmy. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. So, we lose Jimmy in this version. He gets bitten on the arm after we're trying to bring back Noah, and there you go. Okay, so I've added all of these Alexandria people to the wheel. Alright. So, the only people with Dale's group who are alive are Sophia, Sasha, Martinez, Dale, Abraham, Noah, and Gabriel. Of course, I forgot to add him on the last spin, but I thought it would just make more sense for you like a main character, so Jimmy was a pretty shocking one. Alright, so if you look at the wheel, we got the Noah death and the Aiden death, alright? And then we got Reg. and Pete. So the question is, who gets the Aiden death? Alright, so who gets the Aiden death? Who just, you know... Apparently Reg does it. So Reg gets impaled and gets devoured by walkers. So we lose Reg. Alright, so we lose Reg. Now who gets the Noah death? And then somebody else witnesses this character be killed. Okay, so Nicholas is the one to be killed. Okay, so Nicholas gets the Noah death. So who witnesses Nicholas be killed? Okay. Oh no. No. So apparently Sam is the one to witness Nicholas die. So in this version, maybe Nicholas was saving Sam because he snuck out of his parents, right? We'll just say that. Okay. So, who is it that the next death is the Reg death? So, we got how many people does Pete kill in the finale? And I'm going to do it with 4-sided dice because I just don't like this character. Oh, who do we say bet up? Maybe we'll say Dale. Well, Abraham's with Sasha still. If not quicker, because there's no Rosita. We could say Martinez beat up Pete. Or Dale. They're the only two characters. Heads it's Dale. Heads it's Dale. Tails it's Martinez. It is Dale. So Dale beats up Pete, protecting Jesse, okay? And how many people get killed by So 2 people. So we have the Reg Death and someone extra. I think it makes more sense. Because I feel like 6 people... I feel like the 6-sided dice was a bit much for Pete, because I don't think he was really much of a threat compared to like Terminus or all that. So no. So Noah gets killed. And then who gets the Reg Death? Who gets the Reg Death? So Noah gets killed during... While he's trying to stop Pete, let's say. Gabriel. Apparently it's Gabriel who gets killed. Okay. So, we're going to kill Pete. Where's Pete? And Dale's a savage in this version. Dale's the savage. And then, what does he say? Oh yeah. So Morgan comes back, and then, he says, Dale? And, Dale's just looking at him like, where's your humanity, man? And Dale's pretty shook up. He's like, oh my gosh, this is how far I've fallen. So Dale ends up meeting Morgan, okay? So we'll actually add Morgan, Dwayne, and we'll talk about does Eastman join the group? Heads, yes. Tails will die like canon. Heads, Eastman will join the group. So Eastman is a part of the group now. So season 6 standby, here we go. Alright, so you ready for this? We've got Owen the Alpha Wolf, haven't we? Yes, we have. Owen the Alpha. Owen. Just this guy. So, we got Tobin, Heath, Olivia, Denise, Gregory, Jesus, Morgan, Dwayne, and Eastman. Okay, sweet. I don't want to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And at this point, okay, we're on season 6. So, we'll just put Owen in like this. Okay. So Dawn was here, and this is season 6. So, the first character is major death, is Nicholas. So, who gets the Nicholas death? So this character will be killed by Nicholas. Actually, I do want to say something before we continue. Alright, so Abraham was trying to toughen up Sam, which is the reason why Sam witnessed Nicholas's death, okay? So this kind of traumatized him. And Jesse's not very happy with him, right? But Abraham, he's trying to make it up to him. And he's like, you need to be tough in this little kid. Yeah. And he kind of opens up a bit. And him and Sasha bomb, so they still get a couple like cannon. And at this point, we don't really have any couples. So I guess that's that. Okay, so who is it that gets this death? Alright, so who is it that gets the Nicholas death? Gregory. I don't think it can be Gregory because Gregory gets hanged by someone. They'll take over the hilltop. So I'm gonna say it's not Gregory here. I should probably move Gregory from the wheel. No, please. Why? So in this timeline, Sasha is the one. Okay, but who does Sasha try to save? So it's Gregory and Sasha. Who does Sasha try to save? Because we can cheat this. Depending on who it is. Okay. Why? No. Why? That's dark. That is dark. That is so dark. It makes no sense. So in this timeline, Sasha and Ron are on Sam are on a supply run, right? But what happens is Sam gets devoured by walkers. Okay, rather than him just doing a nick, Sam literally accidentally falls in, and I mean it did land on Gregory. You know what? I'm gonna do it. So Gregory. All right. So I think I'm gonna have to reroll. So who gets Nicholas' death now? I removed Gregory from the wheel because the reason I removed Gregory was because he's a villain and somebody's going to kill him in the hilltop. Please follow Spencer. Sasha gets such a cool arc, and that's the way she goes out. Who tries to win Sasha? This character gets the fake out death. We'll make this make sense, okay? That makes no sense. Apparently Ron is trying to convince her. Actually, this does. So in this version, Ron finds out that Sam was actually being toughened up by Abraham, and then Ron is annoyed at Abraham. So to get revenge on Abraham, he tells Sasha, but then Sasha is like, what? And then, she has reminiscence back when she burned Amy at the prison. And she actually feels real guilty about it. And then Ron kind of has a change of heart, right? So he doesn't tell Abraham, and he goes off and he tells Sasha that, don't do this. And seeing that Ron's a kid and that the only chance for him to survive is if she sacrifices herself, is Sasha's ultimate sacrifice. Well, yeah, she does the ultimate sacrifice, okay? And she ends up dying, so we lose Sasha. So Ron is actually missing, so we all think Ron's dead. Okay. So, the wolves, okay? We got Deanna's death, we got some Sam of Ron's, and Jesse's death. Deanna death, the Ron death, Jesse death, and the Sam death. So who gets the Deanna death? Damn, apparently it's Heath? So Heath gets bitten and says, leave me, and then Heath, he gets devoured. He comes back out wrong. So who gets the Sam death? Who panics? Who panics in this situation? We are very lucky Sophia has immunity. Alright. So who panics? Okay. Aiden. Apparently it's just Aiden. Fair enough. Aiden goes. So, who tries to save Aiden? Oh, Tobin. Because Tobin tries to save Aiden, and he's unsuccessful. Now, who's the shooter? This character will get stabbed in the back and shoot one of our cast members. Can't be Dale. Can't be Dale. Although I'll allow Dale to be shot. I will allow Dale to be the one to be shot, okay? So apparently Deanna is the one to shoot Dale in the eye, okay? So I like this actually. So Dale, but who kills Deanna? Now if this is Dale, we have to re-roll. Enid. Okay. So in this timeline, Enid and Sophia have a bond, like Carl and Enid in the original timeline, and Dale gets shot in the eye by Deanna, and Sophia has to carry Dale all the way back to the hospital. Okay, and there you go. That's pretty unexpected. So we've got the Owen death. Now we got Abraham's death. How many does Negan kill? So here goes Owen, the Alpha Wolf. So Owen is here, and Ron returns with his entire family, and only to be told that Dale got shot in the eye. He tells Abraham what happened to Rosita, to Sasha, and Abraham is freaking out. He's really angry with Ron. Okay, so Abraham's really upset by this, and it's Eastman that kills. Eastman is the one to kill Owen. Okay, so how many people are killed by Negan? 2 people. So it's the same as canon. So who gets Abraham death, which is the season finale? No. No. Okay, it's Eric. So Negan goes to Eric, you can breathe, you can blink, you can cry. And then Eric gets his head smashed in, taken it like a champ. I guess Abraham survives in this version. Not quite sure how we'll make that work, but we'll talk about this. And then we go on season 7, right? So, in season 7, who is it that Negan kills as Abraham? So who's our Abraham? Now, it can still be Abraham. So this is the Glenn death, okay? Oh no. It works. It actually works, though. Okay? So, in this timeline, Abraham, because Abraham doesn't have a love interest, right? He doesn't have Sasha. He's the Glenn, okay? And he says to Ron, to Sam and Ron, because he's kind of bonded with them. And he says to Dale, he says, Dale, Ron, I will find you. And then, he collapses. Or maybe he just says the same thing like he does in the original. And that'd be pretty cool. And then he says, hey, suck my, And then Abraham comes like the original. That's so cool. And Ron's pretty shocked. Sam's pretty shocked. Dale's pretty devastated. Because Abraham's the last person in our group. He's the last person in our group now after Sasha. We lost Abraham. So Dale and Sophia, they only got 2 after their original group, right? So Negan's like, I'm gonna break you, Dale. And there you go. So we have Carson, we had Rachel, uh, we had Sydney, and we're not gonna have Shiva yet. Shiva's gonna be in the next. We'll add Shiva. Oh, 1 sec, just want to make sure. Now we can actually have the Hilltops. We got Richard, Shiva, Benjamin, Jerry, Deanna, and Henry. Okay. So Negan's here. Okay. So we got Negan. We got the original group. All right. And we got Easy Street. And we got a front row seat. So Joseph, which is this guy. Okay, he gets killed by, I believe it's Daryl. So we're talking about this Joseph reformed, this not Joey reform, okay? So first of all, we got to talk about who gets kidnapped on Easy Street. So it can't be a Hilltop member or any of the characters we just added. I should have spent this beforehand. Cannot be Henry. Sorry, Henry is out. We killed Deanna. Deanna should be off the wheel, right? Yeah, Deanna shot Dale, so Dale's immunity, but Dale's one eye. So we got one eye Dale. Which I think's kind of cool. Okay. He's the easy streak. So easy streak, come on. Give us easy streak. Who's gonna have it? Rolling in the sun. This is really starting to get a bit annoying, okay? It has to land on something that makes sense. Carson has just been added to the season, so I don't want to do him. Okay. He's gonna be. You know what? Ron works. Okay. After Ron told Abraham about Sasha, after him, trying to stop Sasha and him kind of feel bad for what's happened, Negan decides to kidnap Ron, and he goes to Dale, you know what? Since you've got 3 kids, I could do with you know what, Dale? I want to break you, and just to show you how bad I am, I'm going to kidnap Ron and feed him dog sandwiches. And so, does Fat Joey reform? Heads yes. Tails no. Ron ends up killing him, because this is important, okay? No, Fat Joey. We lose Fat Joey. Kind of sad. Fat Joey dies, okay? So, who betrays Negan? Who joins Negan? No! Oh, Enid. So, it turns out Enid betrays the group and decides, you know what, I'm siding with Negan. I guess that kind of works. So, Enid has joined Negan, and the others are... Sophia's pretty sad about that. Maybe Enid, Ron too. Maybe Ron and Enid were a couple. Maybe this whole time, Enid's like a double agent. We'll say that. But we gotta add Dwight as well. We add Dwight to the wheel, because he's in our group at this point. So we add Dwight. But we'll say Enid's the one to take down Negan, okay? So we'll say that works. Rather than him betraying the group. So, we got the Spencer death. Who ends up trying to convince Negan that they can take over the group and becomes a snake. Oh, actually, I think we have a different death for this. The Benjamin one. So Benjamin's not there yet. Okay. I thought we were at the Benjamin death, and I can say for Benjamin, I'm going to do a kingdom wheel. Because Martinez. I forgot we had Martinez in the prison. So he lost Martinez. Wait, Martinez? Martinez? I think we already killed Martinez. I thought we kept him alive. I'm gonna read Rachel. Oh, Martinez, there he is. It's kind of sad. So we lose Martinez. So he gets, this is actually pretty cool. So maybe in this situation he thinks, he's been with Dale so long, and he thinks Dale's becoming a bit like the governor because he got shot in the eye, right? And Negan says to Martinez, "You have no guts," and then he gets gutted. So who does Negan randomly shoot in the eye? Now this has to make sense, okay? This has to make sense. Oh no. Okay. Apparently Jesse gets shot in the eye and gets killed. Well done, Negan. You've killed one of my old favourite characters. Side characters, that is Jesse. I really like the character, to be honest, so it's kind of a shame that she got killed. Pretty shocking stuff for Dale. So, we have to talk about the Benjamin death, okay? So, we're going to go and get a wheel from the kingdom. Now, this wheel will be important. You will see why it's important. So I'm just going to make another tab for now. We're going to make Richard, Shiva, Ezekiel, Benjamin, Jerry, Deanna, and Henry, because they're like the only characters who are from the kingdom. Didn't nobody join the kingdom? Well, two people left, didn't they? So who joined the kingdom actually? Just to make this more interesting, who were the two characters to join the kingdom? Because Carol and Michonne are both leaving the TV show. But we'll say this is after Negan's saga, and so they leave to try and recruit Ezekiel. So Denise is one of them. Apparently Dale Science was sending Denise. Who else? Apparently we're just sending Spencer. So I feel like Denise and Spencer don't even get out of the wheel, but they'll witness what happened, okay? And then they'll inform Dale. So we got Zeke, we got Shiva, we got Benjamin, we got Henry, we got Deanna, Jerry, and we got Richard. So who gets the Benjamin death, okay? 3, 6, 7. Who gets the Benjamin death? Okay, so Benjamin just dies like normal. Okay, so who gets Richard? Who gets the Richard death? Who's at fault when this person gets killed? Shiva the Tiger. It can't be Shiva the Tiger. It can't be Shiva the Tiger. Unfortunately, I can't allow it to be Shiva. Makes no sense. Oh, actually, this works kind of really well. So Ezekiel is the reason that Benjamin gets killed in this version. Alright. So we remove Ezekiel and we remove Benjamin. Where's Benjamin? At the top. Alright. And so we're going to talk about who kills Ezekiel for killing Benjamin. This works really well. So Denise and Spencer both left to go on a hilltop, right? But in this version, she ends up killing Ezekiel after seeing that Benjamin was like, maybe he was a kid, right? And Denise doesn't like that, and so Denise, in a fit of rage, ends up killing Ezekiel. And of course, Jerry's like, no, and Shiva's pretty devastated. Maybe Shiva tries to attack, but Spencer makes sure that doesn't happen. So I don't know, it's Spencer. Okay, so now we have that out of the way. Let's talk about the Sasha death. Okay, so who gets the Sasha death? Who ends up dying in this season finale? Who becomes our Sasha? They try to kill Negan, but then they end up taking out. Okay, it's Spencer. Well, I guess it actually makes sense. Let's make sense of it, okay? So after Spencer sees Benjamin, not wanting another situation to happen, he takes the opportunity to try and kill Negan, and then he ends up coming back as a walker, which shocks everyone else. So, we're on to Season 8, and at this point, we can add Jadis, City. Oh no, we're not going to add them yet, but we will add them in a bit, okay? So we'll add these two up here for now, because they will join the group later. So, we finally get to get Rick Grimes back in the series. Rick Grimes, okay? So Rick Grimes returns. Okay, so first off, we have the Morales. Now, we actually are going to roll the dice to see how many people survive. All 4 of them survive. Okay. Do they reform? Heads yes, tails no. Yes. So, Laurie, Rick, Carl, and Judith all join the cast. Laurie, Carl, Rick, and we have Judith. So we got 4 new characters to the wheel. Alright. So in this timeline, they reunite with Dale, and Dale tells what happened to everyone in Alexandria, and they're told what happened to Shane and how they got separated and all that. Okay, so who gets the Eric death? So who gets the Eric death in this version? No, no, please. Why? Okay, so our cool character Carl, Shiva. That's what Shiva as well. And you know what's sad about this? The fact we just added Carl to the group and now we have to get rid of him. So Carl dies and gets left by a tree, and then he gets put down by Rick. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll say Carl gets attacked and he's not able to escape with us. So at this point we add Alden. In my opinion, we can add Alden, okay? And we will add Jadis because Sadiq has not yet joined the group. Sadiq only joins once the Carl death, okay? So we add Alden and we add Sadiq. And now, if you look at the wheel, we've got to talk about who gets the Shiva death. So this character sacrificed themselves to save the group after Carl died. So already lost Carl, okay? Oh no, not Judith, please. Not Judith. No, I can't handle that, no. Deanna sacrifices herself to save everyone. And she gets killed. So, pretty sad. Deanna's a big character, I guess. Okay, so we lose Deanna. Who goes Cabin? And then the Carl death is important, because in the Carl death, this character will save Sadiq. Okay. Apparently it's Rachel, which kind of works because Oceanside was attacked by Simon's people. So I guess maybe Gavin was a part of that group. So Rachel kills this character. So before we continue, we need to add Sadiq to the wheel. And who gets the Carl death? So who gets the Carl death? Why Jesus? Why Jesus? I love this character, so it's kind of sad that we lose Jesus. So Jesus saves Sadiq, and he gives Dale the speech about, how they need to build a better world, they need to do better. And Dale gets his humanity back, and is back. Okay, so Dale's back to his normal. He's no longer savage. Savage Dale's gone. He's still kind of there, but So we got the Tobin death. Okay. So the Tobin death. So Harlan Carson and the Tobin death. So who gets the Carson and Tobin death? So we got 2 more deaths before. So we got Carson's death. Who gets Harlan Carson? Jerry. No. So Jerry is the one who gets the Carson death. And who gets the Tobin death? We lose Rachel as well. Kind of sad. Rachel's getting a good arc. Okay, so Rachel is the one to be put down. That's Rachel. Is there? I think I got Olivia. Olivia, we'll just add Olivia just to make sure. I think we got Olivia. Alright. So, Jared and Simon. Okay, so who kills Jared, which is this guy? After we lose Jesus, who is it? Denise. Okay, so Denise is becoming a bit savage here. So in this version, maybe Denise and Rachel had a connection, and Denise decides to try and convince Jared, and she goes, "Oh, lad." Actually, no. I think it's worse than Sweet Dale. Let it be Dale. Okay, so Denise joins Dale, and Dale, Sophia, and that go off, right? And since you promised I could join, then Dale goes, "Oh, lad." So we'll do that. Okay, we'll just say that Dale killed Jared, and Denise joins. So who? Simon is killed like canon. And then how many people die in the season finale? So how many people get killed in the season finale? Apparently we lose 5 people during the Battle of Negan. After Dale killed Jared. No, so Dale loses his adopted son Ron. So Ron is one of the casualties. Okay. Who's next? So we already lost Ron. Aaron's a big character, to be honest. The fact we lost him is pretty unexpected. Who's next? Got 3 more deaths to go before we go on to season 9. Jadis. I guess this version Jadis never joins spin-off. Guys, there's not many spin-offs. We don't hate spin-offs or anything, but we're just sticking to the main show. I just think it's more interesting if we do that. So Henry, was Henry. So Henry, he's just a kid as well. So Henry dies. So that's 4 people. He's the last person. I guess Henry doesn't get called out. No. No. It's Dwayne. Oh, that's so sad. So it is Dwayne, Morgan's son. So Morgan's gone clear mode again. It's kind of sad. That is sad. That is so sad. The fact we still have Eastman here is really interesting. So at this point, Dale has locked up Negan. Nice to save him. We add Sherry and we add Laura. Okay. And Laura. Just got Negan. Right. So we don't need to add them yet. That's it. So that's season 8. So going on to season 9. And this is kind of cool. Season 9, okay. So season 9, we have to talk about Kenneth and then the Gregory death. So who kills Gregory, right? And then who gets the Kenneth death? Justin and Arot are in the group, but they'll be important later on. Okay, so we add Kenneth, Tammy, and Earl. Okay. Kenneth, Tammy, and Earl. So we don't have Herschel and we don't have RJ. I guess in this timeline we don't have them. So we put them down here. Maybe if somebody else is a kid in the future, that could be a thing. Actually, no. RJ could exist in the time skip. And we will give RJ to Rick because Laurie's still here, but they've lost Carl. So RJ could exist. I don't think Herschel can exist unless we give Dwight. Where's Dwight? If we give Dwight and actually, let's give Dwight and Sherry a child too, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay. So, who gets the Kenneth death? Who gets killed on a supply run? Wait, who gets killed on a supply run? Dale's immune. Dale is immune. Okay. It can't be Dale. So Alden gets killed. And this makes Laura the fall. So Alden is the one who gets killed instead of Kenneth. So we lose Alden already. I liked the character, to be honest, so goodbye with him. And who is it that hangs Gregory? So this character, whoever kills Gregory, is the leader of the hilltop. Now, obviously it can't be Negan, but it can be anyone else. Rick works in this version. So Rick, after losing Carl, he decides to hang up Gregory, and Rick's in charge of the hilltop, okay? And Dale's trying to change, like Rick was in the original. Rick's like, no, we can't do Dale's rules anymore. Dale's rules doesn't work, you know? And we lose Justin, so the Justin death and a rot, okay? So we got Justin, and we got, so a rot's a skill, and we got Justin. So who kills Justin? Now this character, whoever it is, will make it work. And this character kills a rot as well. We're doing a 2-in-1. So Eastman. Okay. So the shocking reveal is when they're trying to find people, and maybe it's Rick. Yeah, it's Rick who finds a rot and Justin, right? And Justin was killed, so they find that, and then Laurie and Rick find him, and then a rot is like, Rick, you gotta help me, please. And then what was it you said? I don't remember. And then there's a flashback of Carl as Carl's being killed, right? Carl got shot, and it was no exception. So that was the last words Rick heard from Carl, and Rick and Laurie turn away, and the Rock gets killed. Oh, it's a masterpiece. So that's what happens. Rick and Laurie turn around, and they let a Rot get killed. Okay, so Arat, sorry, not a Rot, so Arat, which is her name. So, okay. The question is, who gets the bridge death? So, we won't add Dog yet because he's in the time skip. So who gets the bridge death? So 2 people die here. Now, I will allow it to be Rick like normal, because Rick does get Michonne pregnant, and she has RJ in the time skip. So if it's someone like that, we'll make it work. Oh, no. So Eastman ends up blowing up the bridge, and he's like, I found my family. And then he loses Morgan, so who tries to save Eastman? This character finds him, and they get devoured by walkers. Sadiq works. So in this version, Sadiq and Eastman are on the bridge, and Eastman blows up the bridge, so he gets blown up, and then Sadiq gets devoured by walkers trying to save Eastman, okay? So now we're at the time skip. We have Magna, Yumiko, Ozzy, Connie, Kelly, Luke, and Dog. We get to add RJ as well. And of course, we get to add Dwayne Jr. Or do I say DJ, which is Dale Jr.? I mean, Dale wouldn't have a kid. I thought Dale doesn't have a kid. Okay. He has Sam, right? So we'll just say Dwayne Jr. So let's add everyone. Magna, Connie, Yumiko, Kelly, Luke, RJ, DJ, which is Dwayne Jr. Yes, so RJ, or, okay, so you can see RJ, and Dog, is Dog Muzzy. 6, 8, 9. So I'm trying to think, would anyone else have a kid in the time skip? I'm trying to think with anyone else. Morgan might. Maybe Morgan. But who does he have it with? You see, there's nobody here that would have a child. Unless Rick and Lori have a second kid, which is possible. I guess we can make this possible. Oh, we could say Shane Jr. Okay, we're adding Shane Jr. to the wheel. Okay. Shane Jr. Okay. So in this timeline, because Rick and Shane never have the falling out, they have twins. Not only do they get RJ, but they have another son. So they have twins. They get RJ and they get Shane Jr. And they realize, that's that. So there's a 6-year time skip. We can make it work. So they're about 6 years old, okay? Judith is about 9. So there we go. Okay. So who gets the Jesus death? So who gets stabbed in the back by whispers? I forgot. We need to add Lydia. It's just one. But Lydia is not actually going to be stabbed because she was hit this time. Okay, so who is it? Who's going to get killed? Who's getting Jesus death? Cannot be Lydia. Reroll. That would be like pretty shocking that Lydia wasn't in the group at this point. Okay, apparently Magda is the one who gets killed. Gets shocking reveal that Magda gets stabbed by the Whisperers. Okay, so this kind of makes Yumiko a bit vengeful. Great. So, Pike deaths. We got Enid, we got Tammy, we got Henry, and we got Tara deaths. So we have to at least have 4 deaths, okay? At least 4. So let's talk about who gets... How many Pike deaths? 16, damn. Damn, 16 people get killed by the Whisperers. Okay, 16 people. So who is it? Who are the 16? Oh no, it's Kenneth. So we're just going to say Pike deaths for now. I'm going to move them here. I'm going to put them here. So this is our Pike's time, just so we're counting. So we'll put 16. So number 1, Kenneth. Who is number 2? Still Tommy. Number 3. No. Not Rick Grimes. Okay, it's Yumiko. Kind of sad, but I can say if they took out Rick Grimes in a Pike situation, man, that would be dark. Like that would be. We got 13 more to go. Apparently they kill RJ. I just can't get over that. At least we got Shane Jr., so there is that. Shiva the Tiger. So Alpha's not messing around. She ends up killing Shiva the Tiger. Kind of sad we lose Shiva as well. That is really sad we lose Shiva. Alright. Alright. So Laura is one of the Whisper kills. So it is Laura, which is this girl. So we got 2, 4, 5, 6 people. Shame we didn't have Joey, but this is our season 9 finale, the Pike Deaths. Sydney is one of them. So we've lost Oceanside, which is 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 7. Okay. Our 8th victim, he's our 8th character. Right. Are you serious? Judith Grimes. They're wiping out the entire Grimes family. It better not be Shane Jr. Please. Okay, it's a side character. After giving me a big character, they give me a side character. Alright, they give me Olivia. So, Olivia. Where are you, Olivia? There you are. Yeah, guys, I decided not to give Dale another kid. Just because, like, I felt with Rick actually here, Laurie and Rick would have had more time, and so they would have had another child, I reckon. But that's just my opinion. Ah, no. No. Okay, it's Denise. Denise had a good arc, though. So, pretty shocking death. So it is Denise. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We got 6 more people. Have we had a dog? We have. Who is it? Who's our next casualty? No. No. You know what? It works really well. Morgan is unfortunately one of the casualties here. Alright, we got 5 more deaths. I think it's 5, it's 4. One. No! What did I just say? I said I hope it's not Shane Jr., and then it ends up being Shane Jr. So Rick doesn't even have a lineage. He doesn't even got anyone. 6, 8, 10, 12. We only have Laurie and Rick. Now, imagine if Rick and Laurie were also on the Pikes. You know, it's tragic. I am speechless. The amount of children that's been on these Pikes. Alpha is really not messing around in this version. Alpha is a serious threat. Well, she was in the original, but like this is crazy. Apparently it's Harlan Carson. So apparently Harlan is the one to where are you, Harlan? Harlan. You right? So we got Lydia, Dwight, Negan, Sophia, Connie, Richard. Lydia, Dwight, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Alright, so we're just missing 2 more deaths. Oh, Connie, no. Connie's one of my favorites. Probably my favorite Alpha's group, in Magna's group, actually. I really like the character, to be honest. I really like the character. So, why? Why? You know what? It works. I'm keeping it. So our shocking season finale is Negan. And they all think, oh, Negan's behind this. He broke out of prison. Maybe he hasn't changed. But then, no, in actual reality, Negan's on the Pikes. So, not only do we lose Negan, but we've also lost a lot of characters. Alright, so survivors. Dante's on the wheel. Now we gotta make sure that everyone is here that was here. So we have Dale, Sophia, Ozzy. Ozzy's still here. It's kind of cool. So we got Laurie, we got Dale, we got Laurie, Dale. I mean, Laurie's kind of lost everything else. Earl, Lydia, Earl, Lydia. I guess we keep Earls all the same at the original. Ozzy, Kelly. Ozzy, Kelly. Dog, Enid. Dog, Enid. Sherry, Sophia. Luke, Richard, and Rick. So, where's Dwight? Dwight's above Dog. Okay, Dwight's above Dog, and then we have Dante. He's just kind of there. So that's pretty unexpected. That is unexpected. Already we've lost so many characters. So, who is it that gets who kills Brandon? Since we haven't got Negan, somebody's gonna have to go and kill Brandon, which is this kid. Alright, so we go on season 9. Alpha and Beta. Season 10. Alright, so we got Brandon. Who kills Brandon? So we have Jules. Now we don't have Princess yet, because Princess is going on a mission, so we have Jules. Princess. Who kills Brandon? Who is it? Who's our shocker? Apparently it's Sherry. So in this timeline, Sherry kills Brandon after killing the couple. Okay. So the Sadiq death. So who gets the Sadiq death? Who ends up finding out Dante was behind it the whole time? So who gets the Sadiq death? No, no. I like Luke as well. So Luke finds out Dante's a traitor, and Kelly's like, "How could this happen?" So who kills Dante? Who kills Dante? Okay, so Richard is the one to do it. So in this timeline, Dale's trying to interrogate Dante for information, but Richard's like, "Screw that!" And then Rick's too savage, so he's been left out of the room because Dale thinks that Rick's completely lost it after killing Gregory on the hilltop. So he's at the hilltop. Richard comes to visit because the Kingdom's no more because there's no Ezekiel. Or maybe Richard is in charge of the hilltop, right? And he attacks and kills Dante. So we'll say that. And this really angers Dale, and Sophia's like, "Wow, Dale, this is really unexpected. My little bro got killed. My brother, which was Sam, because Sam got killed last season. So I guess she'd be okay with it." And then it's like the people we were. So Earl. So who gets the Earl and the Lordeth? And then Sophia's like, "Remember when you were Savage, Dale?" And then Dale just doesn't really say anything. So who gets the Earl death? Richard works, and in this version, Alpha. Alpha. So Alpha kills Richard after killing Dante. So who kills Alpha? Who's undercover and gets Alpha? Ooh, Dwight, the Whitey boy. So the Whitey boy, he's turned out by Dale. Actually, and Dale's like, "We need to send you undercover again because Dwight's done this before." And him and Alpha are about to get together, and then he's like, "You know what? I can't do this to Sherry, so we just killed her." There you go. Okay. And so who gets the Laura death? The Laura death, which is the most iconic savior. Oh, Laura dies before Earl. So who gets the Laura death? So who gets the Laura death? Now it can't be Dante because it can't be Dwight because Dwight killed Alpha. Apparently it's Ozzy. So Ozzy gets the Laura death after Beta breaks out of prison. He gets his neck snapped. So Richard, and we have to talk about Beta. Okay. So how many people does Beta kill in the finale? So at this point, another video. At this point, Beta has. Oh, did we even add Guimero? We did actually. We did add Guimero. I think we had, yeah, he died in season 2. So, how many people got killed in the season finale by Beta? So how many people, how many people got killed in the season finale? 4 people get killed by Beta, right? We lose 4 people. That's crazy. Alright. Jules is number 1 who gets killed by Beta. So Jules tries to avenge her boyfriend, Luke. And we'll make this work once we meet the 4 of them, I guess. Dale's immune. Oh, I forgot actually who gets the arm cut off in the Jocelyn and her arc, because that was Aaron. So we'll do that first before we got our second death. So we'll do the deaths first, and then we'll do who gets their arm cut off. No. Rick Grimes gets killed in the Whisperer War. Okay. I kind of like that for Rick, because he had like a really dark arc, if that makes sense. So Rick's like really savage after Carl died. Like Rick lost all of his children, and then to sacrifice everything. Rick dies. Can't be Dale. Dale's immune. Try again. No. Why? I was joking earlier when I said Laurie, the crime family, we wiped out in one season, and literally that's what happens. He's the last person to be killed in the season finale. Can't be Sophia. Can't be Sophia. Lydia works. Oh, kill Beta. Now the question is, who gets their arm crushed on the bridge? So it needs to be someone from the bridge. Dale. Yes. So Dale's a savage. Dale's a savage in this version. So in a flashback, you ready for this? Okay, before I explain the deaths. In a flashback, Dale was trying to help everyone build the bridge, but then Justin said the wallkeeper's off. And then, Sophia says, that's BS. And you're lying. And then Sophia punches Justin after, which is the reason he left, right? So that makes a lot of sense. And then he has to get his arm cut off by Enid. I was like, there's really no other way. It's like, damn, sorry, man. And there you go. And then what happens is, in the fight, Jules gets killed by a Whisperer. Rick sacrifices himself to try and kill Beta, but he fails. Rory tries to stop him, and she dies as well. And then Lydia, just to show how ruthless Beta is, kills her, which angers Dale, and Dale kills Beta. So that. So who kills? Actually, we want to say who kills Beta. Okay, who kills Beta? Who helps Dale kill Beta? I like that. We're gonna say this. Alright, so now we go on to season 11. Okay, season 11. So Princess helps Beta. She kills Beta. Okay, so in this timeline, we're introduced to Princess a bit different. Okay, so in this version of Princess, we're introduced to Princess a bit different. In this version, she kills Beta, and that's all season finale kill. It's like, oh my god, Princess is here. And she's like, hey y'all, how's it going? I haven't seen people in a long time. And, that'd be pretty cool for Princess to kill Beta with Dale. So they got Dog, Kelly, Sherry. Dog, Kelly, Sherry, Sophia, Princess, Enid, Earl, Dwight, and Dale. So we don't have many people in our group, okay? So, kind of interesting, alright? So, Elijah. So, season 11. Okay, we're at season 11. Season 11. We got the Gauge death. Okay, so we got the Gauge death. And we actually do meet Elijah as well. So we haven't met Elijah yet. So who gets the Gauge death? Who dies on the supply run? Before we meet Elijah. No, please. Oh, I hate that. The princess. The princess is our season finale kill. She's the first kill in the series. In the season, so we have Elijah, and that's kind of it. Oh yeah, we got Anna as well, which is Negan's wife. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and that's it. So, season 11. We got Hope and Leah Shaw. So, how many people get killed by the Reapers? 4 people. So we lose 4 people? Really? So we have only 6 by the time we get to the Commonwealth. I should have added Mercer. Okay, Dale doesn't count. So we'll add Mercer. We'll add Tommy. We'll add Mercer. And we'll add Max. Okay. We have Mercer, Tommy, and we have Max. Actually, they weren't there though. At this point. Who are the 4 people? Maybe these help get rid of. Mercer is our first casualty against the Reapers. Mercer sacrifices himself. Who's next? Cannot be Dale. Can't be Dale. Dale's 1 arm, he's got 1 leg, but he got 1 arm, he's got 1 eye. Can't be Dale. Enid, on the other hand, can 100% be a casualty. We've got 2 more deaths, and then we have to go to the Commonwealth. And we'll talk about who gets what in a sec. No, so Dwight, a character who helps us in the last one, tries to save us, but dies in this war. And Tommy, after everything, he ends up saying, "Screw it, I'll help you guys." So what happens is Tommy and Mercer both get killed during the supply run, but Max is still here, so she takes them back. Okay, we're just gonna say that. I think it makes more sense. So let me add who kills Pope and who kills Leah. Pope and Leah, let's go. Sophia does it. So Sophia kills Pope. That's cool. So Sophia kills Pope, but who kills Leah? Apparently it's Elijah. This whole time Elijah has been kills Leah. So, and we've got some interesting deaths. We got Sebastian, we got Lance, and that's it. Sebastian and Lance death, and we got Jules, Luke, and Rosita. Sebastian and Lance. Who kills Sebastian and Lance? Who kills Sebastian and Matt? I think we talk about who gets shot as well, which will have immunity in the finale. So Dale does it. Okay, so Dale kills Sebastian. And who kills Lance? Apparently it's Sophia, so that's really cool. Father and daughter kill, okay? So, Pamela wants revenge. Jules, Luke, and Rosita. How many will die in the finale? 2 people. 2 extra people. We've got 6 people that died, so we only have 3. No. Forget the scrap. Forget that rule, okay? Who gets bitten? Who gets the video treatment? Who gets 1 arm? Before we do this. Ooh, so Sophia gets bitten. So maybe in this version she was saving Elijah, but Dale says we've got to cut the arm off. And 1 arm Sophia brought problems into the fray. So who gets shot? Who gets shot? Yes, this works really well, okay? So after Sophia loses her arm, she gets shot. But who gets the Jules death? Who gets the Jules death? And it's Kelly. So Dale's rushing her to the hospital, and Kelly ends up... Sherry's trying to help. Kelly ends up getting the Jules death. Who gets the Luke death? Okay, and then we got to talk about Rosita. I've got the Alden death, but we'll just do an extra death here. Anna. Damn. Anna has to lose a leg, and she dies. Just an extra note, because we didn't do the Alden death earlier in the video. We will add Alden's death here. Sherry. Sherry gets the Rosita death. Sherry gets the Alden death, and that leaves these 4, except Max, these 3 up to get the Alden death. So, Earl dog, but Sherry gets killed. And then who's our bonus death? Because we forgot to do Alden. Who's the bonus death? No. Okay, Sophia is immune. Sophia has immunity. She's been shot. She has immunity. Oh no, it's a dog. So dog is the one who gets the Alden death. I think he was here. Wait, we'll find out where Alden was in a sec. Okay, so Alden is above Leah. Yeah, this works, right? And this explains why Leah was so ruthless in this timeline. She took out her own dog, which I think is a pretty shocking one. We leave dog and we find him as a walker. So that is it for this video. Our survivors are Dale, Sophia, Elijah, Max, and Earl. They're the only people. Now, does Pamela survive? Heads yes, tails no. Okay, we'll make this make sense. Tails no, we kill Pamela. Now, who kills Pamela in the season finale? And it can be anyone. We got 5 people, which isn't a lot in a group. So, despite the fact that Dale said we need to spare her to rebuild the future, Sophia says nah, and Sophia kills her. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. This is everyone's deaths in the Dale as the protagonist video, okay? So, Dale, Sophia, Earl, Elijah, and Max. I think we did worse than Laurie, didn't we? I think we did worse than Laurie somehow, which is kind of cool. Dog could have been technically cheating, but I mean, these guys could have still died in that battle anyways. And I think just more naturally interesting if we do that. So, that's it. And yeah, peace and farewell.